Matthew, you seem to be concerned about the situation of middle and upper middle Australia. They're the people that the $1 million plus houses. They're the people that have got the 4 bedrooms and more. And they're the people that are actually changing their retail spending habits, or tend to be. Are we looking at a revolution in what's taking place in middle and upper middle Australia?
Well, I'm not sure if it's a revolution, but one of the interesting things, and this is a very longer term view as to strategically might be happening, but if you look at a chart of income inequality, not just in Australia but in the United States and in the OECD, income inequality has got worse and worse and worse over the last 20 years. And I think there are a lot of signals that are now coming from government. If you listen to Barack Obama's speech from a couple of weeks ago, the potential new French president, and even signals that are coming in Australia with the abolition the other day of the healthcare rebate, there seems to be a tendency by government to be looking after our customer segment at the expense of those upper segments to address this income inequality issue. So we are mindful of this, and it's one of the things that's driving our strategy. Even it might not be the primary driver, but it's something that's definitely on our mind as an observation as to how governments are acting these days.
Matthew, in your business, is there anything you're particularly proud of in terms of ways to improve your efficiency?
Well, there are, but it's not just improving our efficiency of how we deliver what we do. It's making sure that we are delivering products and services that people want. And I'm very proud of the fact that through our housing affordability strategy, we're actually enabling people to buy into housing that they previously weren't able to do. And one of the frustrating things to me is the number of people I talk to, young people who are coming through into work, who are in their mid-20s, have got a good job. Young couple, for example, who have started saving, but they're caught in the rental trap. And historically, people in that position were able to move into home ownership quite seamlessly by borrowing a reasonable amount of money and being able to service it. But even these days, people on the average income, it's very, very hard for them to get into housing. And one of the philosophies that we have, which we're driving with government, is a very easy proposition. It's that the median-priced family, the people on the medium income, should be able to afford the median house, and they're way off the pace because of this government inaction on supply. And I'm proud of the fact that we can allow a lot of people to get into home ownership at a more affordable price.
Selling down your exposure to office and industrial, but you've still got something like $3 billion tied up in them. In 2 or 3 years' time, will there be any exposure in those sectors?
Well, we're selling at a rate of about $400 million a year, and we're doing that to effectively re-weight from our office space into our retail development. We always want to be in a position where about 2/3 of our income comes from rent, because that really gives us a solid backbone. It means that we can really predict our earnings quite well, and it means that we can maintain an A- credit rating. So this is a switch from office into retail, not a wholesale sell down that would put our earnings at risk. So over time, maybe over 5, 6, 7 years, we will sell down completely, but it will be done on a very measured basis.
Why are you so bearish about office?
Well, the problem with office space and the challenge is that it is highly commoditised. And despite the fact that white-collar employment is trending down and demand is quite patchy, new supply keeps on coming out of the ground. And as long as that happens and incentives remain very high, it's very, very hard to make money out of being an office space. To really make a lot of money out of being an office space, you've either got to be a very long-term holder and be able to ride the fluctuations, or a short-term trader. And none of those really fit our capital structure, and none of those fit our bill in terms of having a very predictable rental stream. Retail is a much better and safer bet for us, much more predictable.